Homecoming at Martins Ferry, and the home team will get the first possession of the game. And we mentioned the youngster, Ty Platt, number 25. He is back deep to receive for Martins Ferry. He is also there with number 24, Ricky Lee. Kicking off for Indian Creek. Pretty fine kicker. And that is Merrick Hughes, and we're underway. It bounces off of the chest and then recovered. Joey Danehart was also back deep to receive for Martins Ferry. Good thing he was. He recovered the fumbled football off of the shoulder pads of the sophomore Lee. So this is what Martins Ferry's offense looks like. Murch is the quarterback. Dave Cornett and Dustin Holt will start in the backfield. You'll also see a lot of Danehart. Ty Platt, the talented wide receiver. Chris Meeker also there, and Brad Wink, the big tight end. Up front, Adam Holmes and McPeak, Yarnovic, Redinger, and Powers on the right side. Good offensive line for Martins Ferry. They toss it. Ty Platt coming around the right side, and Ty Platt gets it across the 25-yard line. It's a nice play by Dave Bruni's offense. We'll check the Indian Creek defense. Up front, they have a 4-3 alignment with Anthony Gump and Big Pat Hickman as the ends. Gambos and Conaway, the tackles. Defensively in the backfield, Kyle Minifield, Jimmy Bell, and Aaron Lane. Todd Banfield, the linebackers. Trevor Cooper, the talented corner, along with Rashad Terry, and Keith Keenan, the free safety. Gave Platt 5 yards on first. Here he is in motion. They hand it off to the left side. Coronet off of left tackle. He has a Martins Ferry first down across the 30-yard line. A pretty good start for Martins Ferry.
Yeah, Martins Ferry's coming out, in their eye, and their offset eye, and they come in a slot, and both times they were in a slot left, and they bring Platt back in motion. The first play they pitched to him, and the second time they just used him and sent the fullback right up in, or the tailback right up in on an isolation play.
So Ferry moving the football, Platt to the near side. He is matched up one-on-one with Cooper, and they fake it that way, and Murch goes down. Pretty good speed matchup on the outside. They have Tyrone Platt lined up with Coop. That's a veteran against a youngster, but they can both fly. There's Platt. He was guarded man for man, and Coop wasn't letting him go, and you can see the pressure here, and down goes the quarterback.
Well, Platt come back, and they run a little out and up, and the number 6 for Wintersville, Cooper, was manned up on him and took away, and he tried to hit him quick, and they ended up sacking him.
Anthony Gump credited with the tackle of Murch. So they lost 2, and now Indian Creek is in the neutral zone. Conaway, number 32, was up in there, the backer. And Martins Ferry will get some free yardage out of this. Good look at our referee tonight, Larry Ryan, out of the Ohio Valley Athletic Conference. He's joined, as always, by Joe Kohler as the head linesman and Johnny Timko, the line judge. Bobby Gable, the umpire. Your man, Donnie Karp, the back judge. And Ryan, right there, the referee, the veteran Larry Ryan.
That shows you my age. I taught him in school.
Karp or Ryan?
Ryan.
And there's a flag on Ty Platt. It'll be an offside, and Coach Bruni's looking at him and saying, what are you doing? Trevor Cooper come up the line of scrimmage, and Platt moved right away.
Well, what Wintersville's doing, or Indian Creek is doing, they're coming up, and they're look like they're coming in a 4-4.
You all right?
Yeah. And, they're bringing their backers up, setting them up in there, and, faking the blitz. And Platt jumped off. It should never happen. And wide receiver, all he has to do is look inside.
And here's Murch handing it off to Cornett, and Cornett bounces off of tackler. Got about 4 yards. And here it is again. Cornett getting some yardage.
Well, it's 3rd down and 9, so Ferry's in a passing situation.
As you see a good look at Dave Bruni contemplating what to do here. Platt at the top of the screen. And to the bottom, Chris Meeker Murch with time. Murch wide open is Dainhardt, and Dainhardt has the football inside the 20 to the 10. Touchdown, Martins Ferry.
Ferry,
Wow.
Ferry came out in a split back set and just run Dainhardt on a circle route, and he run down the middle, and they were in a single safety, and they just run a safety read and made the completion for a touchdown. Great throw, great run.
68 yards. Look at it again, plenty of time. And then Dainhardt just does the rest. And Martins Ferry strikes first on homecoming. On to attempt the point after. Mike Schaefer, and it's good.
It's good. Yeah, Ferry come on, they run a route that was always called, we always called it a safety read. They run one guy down each hash mark, and whichever one the safety picks up, they throw the other side, and he was wide open. Dainhardt was wide open.
There it is again, watch, Dan.
There he is, he just circled out of the backfield, and they forced the linebacker coverage on him, and the linebacker's not gonna cover it.
Point after was good, so 7-0 Martins Ferry. Early.
Could be a very big play. If it doesn't do anything else, it's going to loosen Indian Creek's to release their defense, so they're not going to be able to put 8 men, 9 men up in the box.
Schaefer on the run up, and back deep to receive is Trevor Cooper at the 10. He is dangerous, has a lane in the middle of the field, sheds a tackle, but now is gang tackled at the 40. Took about 7 Purple Riders to get him down, but we'll get the first look at the explosive Indian Creek offense led by Trevor Cooper, number 6.
Well, we'll see what Indian Creek does now.
Mike Pickford is the quarterback with Hickman at fullback. Doherty and Christian are the wideouts, and Anthony Gump is the tight end. Geary and Gambos are the guard, or up on that left side, right side. Cornish, Gorman, and Lamatrice up front. Check the Ferry defense after 1st and 10. Great starting position. They send Cooper in motion to the near side. They throw it out here. It is complete to Doherty, and Doherty is into Martins Ferry territory, real close to a first down. Looks like it's a gain of about 10 or possibly 11. Let's set the Martins Ferry defense. Brad Wink and Redinger, the ends, with Powers and Holmes, 2 pretty good defensive tackles. Cornett and Holt, linebackers, along with Anderson and Dainhardt. Jimmy Fleming and Ty Platt. John Yoder defensively for Martins Ferry. Gave him the first down. It's 1st and 10, Indian Creek. And some movement by the Skins.
On a pass completion, Indian Creek come out with a twins look to the left, and then run the tailback in motion, and just motioned into a trips with Cooper, and then they ran a 2 off, and they just hit the split man, and he picked up 10.
So the Purple Riders lead it 7-0. Good look at Brian Mays in his 2nd year at Indian Creek. After so many successful campaigns at Cadiz, now Harrison Central. Here's the handoff to Cooper, uses the stiff arm, gets away from one, and now bowls his way inside the 45, down to the 43-yard line. Trevor Cooper showing he has some muscle along with the speed.
Well, I'll tell you what, he picked up about 12 yards on his own right there. You know, the Ferry defense was there, but Cooper just made an outstanding run and picked up an additional 10, 12 yards.
Used the stiff arm on Dainhardt and then put his head down. Look at it again, Danny. Just stays on his feet and just bowling over defenders. Yoder didn't have much of a chance. Now the eye set. Hickman in front of the coop. And running with the football was Mike Pickford, the quarterback. He has a Creek first down near the 35.
I'll tell you, Indian Creek is showing early that you know they're going to throw the football, and they have excellent speed at the wide receivers, and of course Cooper, and the quarterback showed right there that that he's capable of running Pickford. So you know, Ferry's got their hands full right now.
The Skins put 2 receivers to the far side. Jerome Jones, number 5, is the furthest man away. They run Coop. Up the middle, he spins off of the tackler and gets 3 or 4 after what looked like was going to be a gain of none.
Excellent run. He just run a little isolation up in there, and he was going to run it off the right tackle, and just spun it right back inside over the center. Pretty good action.
Bounced right off of the tackle of J.R. Anderson, 54, who, if he had his head up, may have seen Coop coming. There's Trevor Cooper at the tailback position. Now in motion.
Motion to a trip set.
Looking that way. Now running with the football was Mike Pickford.
I tell you, Pickford's not afraid to pull the ball down and run with it. He got a pretty good stick there that time from Holt, the inside linebacker from Ferry, but you know, he picked up a couple yards. Now it's 3rd down and 3. I would say that they're in a 4-down territory. So, you know, I look for Cooper to run the ball this play.
There's Brian Mays. Calls all the offensive plays, gets some help from Brad Kessel. On 3rd and 4, there goes Coop. Into the trips formation again to the right side. Pickford looking that way, strings it out. Pass caught Doherty, close to a first down. Did a great job getting the football around the marker. I think it'll be a Creek first down, Dan.
Stretched it out there for the first, I think. But once again, you know, you're looking and you're thinking that Indian Creek is a power team. They run the football there. They got 3rd down and 3, and they throw the ball. So obviously they're not. They think they can throw the ball, and once again, just like I said about Ferry, by throwing the ball, they're going to loosen the defense up, and then that's going to make it easier to run.
This almost looks like 2 teams who came into the season knowing they could run the ball and showing people they could run the ball, and are now trying to find a passing game.
Well, I don't know.
Is that fair to say?
I think it is, but I think, you know, you're halfway through the year. You better have found it by now.
And they both look fairly well tonight throwing the football, even though it's not the bread and butter. This is the Creek bread and butter. Cooper on 1st down, inside the 25, stretching forward for a couple yards on 1st down. But they're pounding Cooper already. He has 4 or 5 carries already.
Right. He's an awfully good back. He looks like to me that they're calling a play in isolation someplace, and they're leading with the fullback. And I think Coach Mays has given him the opportunity. You find a hole and go, because that play started to the right and broke it back to the left, and play before he just spun into the hole. So
Pickford, 2-step drop towards the end zone. Good pass, but it's too far for Doherty.
I'll tell you
well thrown football.
Very well thrown. And I think that if the receiver would have picked the ball up a little quicker, he might have been, because he was open and the ball was there. It was a catchable ball.
And they're going after the youngster Platt, making only his 2nd start at Martins Ferry at cornerback. He's a young sophomore.
Well, you know, I don't know whether it's the Pratt or not. You know, Ferry, we had them 2 weeks ago, and they have shown a tendency to have problems on you know, defending the pass, and I'm sure this is a reason, that part of the reason they're looking at it.
So 3rd and long. Fake the draw to Coop. Here's pressure. Pickford gets it away, and it's incomplete. The staff wanted grounding from Martins Ferry. No signal on the field. An incomplete pass. Good pressure that time by 63 Adam Holmes.
I'm not so sure it wasn't grounding because there just wasn't anybody there, and Ferry come up with a all-out blitz and manned up on all the receivers. So they said, okay, you're going to throw it. We're going to pressure you.
And they're going for it on 4th down. And they split another speedster to the top of the screen. Jerome Jones, 5. High in the backfield. There goes Cooper in
Motion
motion.
to trips.
Pickford looking that way. Pickford slings it out. Cooper dropped the football. Would have had the first down.
He had it.
Maybe even pushed off, but nonetheless incomplete. Ferry football. Good pass that time, though. Looked like, Dan, the route may have been confusing over there.
It looked like they had two men in the same place, and you know who was right or who was wrong. I really don't know. But once again, it's shown that neither one of these teams are afraid to throw the football.
Brian Mays pacing the sidelines, and this is Murch with the football at the zone 22. Quick toss to Platt. He's going to throw a halfback pass. Ty Platt airs it out into double coverage. Knocked away Cooper. Looking for Brad Wink, the big tight end. And
yeah,
that have been Ty Platt's first ever high school pass attempt.
That's the pattern play off of the opening play. You know, come out in motion and pitched it to him. And instead, first play of the game, he ran the ball. This time, he threw the pass. And if he could have thrown the ball a little quicker, a little farther, he might have had something there.
But Wink has a definite height advantage.
He threw it into double coverage.
Right. Now Ferry forced with 2nd and 10. The Skins with a lot of defenders between the tackles, and it's going to be hard to run up in there with all those white hats.
Well, it looks to me, at least on that defensive set, right, Indian Creek is playing a 4-4 in their straight man-up coverage on Ferry. You know, Ferry had 2 wide receivers and a tight end, and so they manned up on them, and outside of that, everything went pretty good.
Standing up the play was 44, big Patrick Hickman, the 6', 205-pound senior, 2-year starter. You see Johnny Bennett talking it over on the sidelines with Anderson. 3rd and 10. Murch, pressure from the middle, gets it away across the middle, picked off at the 37-yard line. Making the interception is Keith Keenan. Very
bad decision. He got pressure. You know, I don't know whether that's interference or inexperience or what, but it's a pass he should have never thrown, and he just threw it up it's a lollipop. He threw it up and.
There's the pressure from Aaron Bain, and that forced Murch into the hurry up. Coach Dave not very happy on the sidelines. Creek with great field position. Just outside the 35.
Well, Indian Creek's in 4-down territory already, and you know, I think one of these times they got to come in and try to really establish the run full time, and this might be, there's a little counter action.
Cooper with the football, but for the first time tonight on the initial hit, he goes down. Number 63, Adam Holmes there first. We saw Holmes against St. Clairsville 2 weeks ago, played a great game in that loss to St. C. But
Randy Pyers, defensive tackle for Ferry, number 75. I don't know, he twisted an ankle or got stepped on, but they're bringing him out. They brought us. No, they didn't. They left him in there and
limping around a little bit.
Yeah,
now
they
coming
brought him out. They sent in John Eden. I don't think John told him he was in for him, but
Eden, a 225-pound sophomore with Coop in motion. This time to the right. Here comes some pressure from Ferry. Pickford is back. Got time across the middle.
Great catch. Great
did Doherty
catch.
Make a great catch? He sure
did.
Great
catch. Ferry brought the house that time, and Indian Creek picked it up. And the quarterback stood in there and threw a pass to Jerome Jones. And it was a great catch.
And boy, you're right, Dan. Did they pick it up or what? Great protection.
No, it wasn't Jones. It was Doherty.
Now the Creek moving the football on the Martins Ferry 24-yard line. Doherty is their main receiver, number 8. He's a 6'3", 200-pound senior. Now Christian to the near side with Doherty in the slot. Fake it to Coop. And down goes Pickford. First man there, Nick Redinger.
Ferry didn't bring it back, or they brought the four linemen, and you know, they just they picked it up and just that was a coverage sack, as they say in the pros. That was a big play. You know, now it's 2nd and 10, second and 18.
And Dan, we haven't seen much of Anthony Martin yet, number 23 for Indian Creek. He's been nursing an ankle injury, but we have yet to see him. Here's a draw to Coop, and the middle of the field is open. Brad Wink may have saved a touchdown because Coop was kicking it into 4th gear about that time when he got tackled.
Yes, he was, and you know, it was a great play by Wink. He come off. He's the defensive end over there, and he came off of it and made an excellent play because he may have taken that one all the way. Third
John
down.
Yoder was there, but Coop may have made a move to the outside that we're used to seeing from Trevor Cooper because this kid can get out and get in the open field. But still 3rd down and 9 after the sack minutes ago. Doherty in motion. It's Mike Pickford. Long count. Straight back. Ferry coming again, and Brad Wink gets there.
Wink again. Once again, now they did it with the down 4. They didn't bring any backers. I think that was another example of Ferry had him covered, and you know, the quarterback just held as long as he could, then just couldn't do anything with it.
Here it is again on the replay. And the secondary doing a nice job of Martins Ferry. And Dan, if you would have seen the John Marshall game last week at Indian Creek, you notice 2 different games going on here. Last week, it was all Coop, Coop, Coop. Tonight, Indian Creek is using Coop a lot, but they're not using him when they usually use him, and that is on 1st downs and long draw situations like that.
Screen.
They're using him here. Cooper, screen left, and Coop down to the 16, but it's short of the first down.
First down. Ferry reacted very well. They set the screen up, had it set up very well, but you know, Ferry's defense played as well as you could play it.
What I was talking about, Dan, was Cooper was doing everything last week, and John Marshall knew he was coming. And at least tonight, Indian Creek is not going solely to Cooper as much to rely on him in the first quarter.
Well, I think there's a similarity. John Marshall plays a 4-4, which is a basic 8 front, and so does Ferry. And of course, Ferry doesn't have the size that John Marshall has, but you know, I think they're going to come in and say, we're going to play football.
Here's Danehart off tackle, not much. And if you would look at the field position so far in this game, you would think Indian Creek would be dominating, but Martins Ferry leads 7-0.
Well, I really think that they have dominated. I don't know, outside of the touchdown, I don't know whether Ferry's picked up a first down. But there hasn't been a punt in the game, so you know, through the interception and things
Down
of that.
twice. And there's 18 seconds to play in the first quarter. Rapidly moving here at Purple Rider Stadium. Mertz turns and tosses to Danehart. And Danehart sweeping left, in trouble in the backfield. Good pressure that time and pursuit by the Indian Creek defense. Keith Keenan, the man who intercepted the football the last time Martins Ferry had it come up and made the play.
That was an excellent play. Keenan's a safety, and he comes up, and Ferry tried to sweep it with Danehart, and outside backer turned it in, and Keenan, the safety, come up and made the play.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at Purple Rider Stadium. Dave Bruni's Purple Riders have the lead by a touchdown, 7-0 at homecoming here in Martins Ferry. You're watching the WTRF High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be back.
You have the talent and skills needed to
Stadium for the start of the second quarter. Martins Ferry football, 3rd and 7. Deep down the middle of the field goes the pass by Mertz. It'll fall incomplete. Good pressure by Indian Creek's defense. And now the Purple is forced to punt.
Well, Platt was out as a wide out that time. They tried to run him on a post down the middle, and Indian Creek had him covered well, plus the ball was over the throne. Ferry's in a punting situation. This is the first punt of the game.
And again, Dan, Indian Creek will get good field position, barring a Josh Miller type bomb, but
Yeah, it looks like, you know, they're going to be around the midfield mark. If they get any run back at all, yeah, they might be in great field position.
Here's Meeker, good snap. Meeker, good punt. Fumbling the football, muffing it on his 40 is Robert Christian, and he is buried at the 32. Well,
Christian
maybe they won't have such good field position. Not bad, but not as good as we thought it was going to be.
Well, Christian took him out of good field position by first muffing the catch, and secondly running backwards. You know, it's a very difficult thing, and in most cases, when you run backwards, you're going to end up back there. You know, so Indian Creek's coming out again. They're in an I right formation.
And now the Coop is out for a break, and Martin is in. Option right, and it's fumbled. A new quarterback is in for the Creek. It's Keenan. He lost the football, but I think the Skins got it back.
Keenan came in at quarterback, and the big thing was he tried to run the option. So, you know, maybe this is another look that the Creek's going to look at.
So Indian Creek's two main weapons out for right now, Pickford and Cooper, and I can see them both by Brian Mays over there on the bench.
And also they have another fullback in the game, so they have a whole set of backs.
That's Bain creeping in motion. Keenan pitches back to Martin, who lost the football, picked it back up, but he's buried at the 25. Danehart, the first man there, and then Holt, the backer.
Well, I'm sure Coach Mays has got something in mind. They brought a whole new set of backs in, quarterback included, tailback, fullback, and they're trying to run the option game. And, you know, if that's an indication, you know, of what's going on, you know, I don't know whether I'd want to do that.
Wow, and they still leave Pickford and Coop on the bench. 3rd and 16. Hickman is back in at fullback, and Keenan still in at quarterback. Ferry, a lot of folks up there in the box. Here is Anthony Martin. This kick and fly, needs a block, got a tackle missed. He has the first down, and he has plenty more. Inside the 40, how about that?
Well,
Anthony Martin.
Well, you know, they come back and they stuck with it. That's the 3rd play in a row that with this back set in, and they just ran the speed option, and they got a good lead block from Hickman, and they just came down in here, and Martin broke it loose. The young man has outstanding speed.
Here it is again, Dan. Watch on the replay. Got a good kick out, 2 great blocks. Then he broke a tackle, and there he goes.
In fact, he broke 2 tackles. He broke Platt's tackle late, and he broke the. There's Hickman. They just gave it to the first man through, and he picked up about 10.
And Jimmy Fleming saved a touchdown. Hickman ran into the quarterback, and he still had a huge lane up the middle, nearly took it the distance. So Indian Creek showing some inexperiences at the key positions, but they haven't turned it over. Muffed the punt, fumbled the first play from scrimmage, got it back. They're running into each other in the backfield, but they're still driving at the Ferry 30. 2nd down and 1. Option left with Keenan, pitches it back, Martin. Bad pitch, but look at the result. It is a first down for the Skins inside the 25. Martin makes a great recovery.
You know, Ferry played that as well as you could play it, and the only thing is, one thing you can't teach is speed, and Martin certainly has speed because they took the quarterback on and forced him to pitch, and they had a defensive man out on Martin, and he just outrun it. He turned the corner on it.
Martin, a 5'7", 155-pound senior. He may be 155. Here's a pass down to the right side. It's going to be a touchdown. Making the reception is Doherty, 24 yards, and Indian Creek is within 1.
It wasn't a very good pass, but Doherty was wide open. I don't know whether Platt lost the ball or he come out in a little short. I'm going to see it. Here it is again. He come out and faked the fullback and then just laid it up, and he just run a go on him and left Platt like it wasn't even there. Big play there.
So a new quarterback and a new system, it looked like on that drive. It was a lot of Anthony Martin, but Doherty catches the touchdown. And then Keenan stays in for the point after. He's the holder, but it's blocked. I think Holmes was there, 63
Adam Holmes,
first.
number 63, came right up the middle.
So the kick blocked by Holmes.
Yeah,
And that may prove big, you never know.
Very interesting football game. You know, you and I discussed pre-game what we thought was going to happen and what was going to be, and we both agreed on everything. And show you how much we know, everything we agreed on, they're doing different. We thought they'd run the ball, try to establish the run, the throw, and both teams have gone the other way.
And we've had 2 passing touchdowns. And Brian Mays wants to talk to the officials.
I don't know, if I was a betting man, I would have never bet what happened this first quarter.
Yeah, the first 2 touchdowns, I would have never thought would have been by way of passing. Here we go again. And Daugherty was just wide open, Platt in no man's land out there, man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, he just got spun around. I don't know whether he looked at the fullback and come off of it and then lost it. You know, he had the short field to defend, but and the pass really wasn't that good of a pass. I mean, anytime you complete it, it's a good pass, but Keenan just lobbed it up in the air.
Here's the kickoff coming down to Ty Platt at the 5. Platt can fly, and he slips down at the 24-yard line.
It looked like he had a little hole over to his left, and I think he was trying to get there, but he lost his footing and you know, went from there. And Ferry's got the ball first down on the 24-yard line. You know, I think see what's going to happen, whether they're going to come out and try to run the ball. I think maybe Ferry's a little bit out of sync throwing the ball, and Indian Creek seems they're more comfortable throwing the ball right now.
And look at the Skins defense up in there tight.
Yeah,
all 11 players up there close. And there's a pitch to Platt, sweeping left. Ty Platt cuts it back in. Hickman there, 44 on the stop. But so were other friends of the Indian Creek defense.
Well, what Indian Creek's doing is they're playing a 4-4, and they're playing it up there, and they're telling Ferry, we're going to dare you to throw the football, because they're playing straight man coverage, and maybe their speed's great enough. Their defensive backs are playing 4 yards deep.
And we've seen that, I think, 3 times
That's
now.
the 3rd time they've run from that set. They ran the ball twice and threw a pass off of it once.
And you don't see that type of play from Martins Ferry. Here's the same look again.
Now these are the first.
Oh,
nice stick by number 61, John Kahn from Indian Creek. A very good stick in there. But once again, Ferry's trying to get some movement out of that defense. I know what they're trying to do, but you know, once again, Platt must be a very, very good athlete. You know, not only catching, but I think Dave's trying to get the ball in his hands as much as possible.
So Indian Creek playing some good defense here on this possession by Martins Ferry. 3rd down and 8. That's Danehart in motion. Leaves Holt, lone man in the backfield. And Murch looking to the right. Throws across the middle. Wink nearly made a great catch. And he nearly was an Orlando Brown incident.
See what they did, Ferry motioned into to a trip set and into a single back, and then tried to hit the tight end down the middle, and they had him. And what they're doing is they're forcing him. They're trying to force Indian Creek to play one of those wide receivers with a defensive with a linebacker.
Larry Ryan says pass interference. Look at it again. Murch down the middle.
I'll tell you, it was pretty close, but he had to call it.
Yeah, Aaron Bain draped all over the big tight end. So it's a 1st down for Martins Ferry.
7.5 minutes to go.
And Murch sends Platt in motion. And being hit hard with the football is Danehart. And that's Kahn again, number 61.
Kahn's made a couple hits in a row there,
on the same
Mike.
Exact play.
But Ferry's running a little bit of motion, and it's really not having any effect on what Indian Creek's defense is doing. They're setting in at 4, so you're going to have to throw us to get us out of it.
Good look at John Kuzakowski calling a defensive play in there in the gold, the Kuz, as they call him. And he runs the Creek defense. Good defensive coach. Here's Murch.
He's got him.
Looking for Platt, who catches the football at the 30. He's tackled at the 27-yard line. So, after Platt was burned on a touchdown defensively, comes back and makes up for it for the time being, working that time on Rashad Terry, the corner, the 180-pound senior.
That was just speed on speed, and right away, Coach Coos made a change and took the young man out of there, the defensive back, and replaced him. But once again, Platt's got some excellent speed.
So they put Martin over there, who can match up with anyone in the Valley speed-wise, but Platt is out of the game. Killing Shane, though, on the left side as the ball carrier is Danehart. He gets it down to the 25, got a couple of yards, and Coach Dave excited. You'll lose anything, Coach. Here comes Martin's Ferry with the eye set.
Earn an eye right.
And they hand it off to Holt, the fullback. Holt has running room, but making a nice play from behind is number 52, Aaron Gambos.
Aaron Gambos, Ferry run Holt on a little veer trap, and if Gambos doesn't fall off his block here, Mike, you can see it right here. This is a touchdown because he's in the secondary with a guard in front of him.
Stevie Yarnovic, 56, the center, was out there helping out. Martin's Ferry starting to show some dominance here. Pretty much a seesaw game. I guess that's a great way to describe it so far. With under 6 to play in the half, it's 7-6. Make that another touchdown for Martin's Ferry as Danehart scores from 17 yards out, his second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, Ferry come out that time and they run the old counter tray, the tailback counter, and bring both backside guard and tackle, and guard first guy kicks out, and the tackle leads up through the hole, and when he got up through the hole, if you watch him here, there's nobody for him to block.
Yeah.
We watched 63 there, and there he comes and makes a heck of a block right there. Danehart walks in. Adam Holmes, and Holmes, he's playing pretty good offensively and defensively.
A lot of running room once Holmes made that block. And here comes Mike Schaefer, the junior kicker, out of the hold of the quarterback, Murch, who bobbles the football, and Murch picks it up, but he's on his knee. Yep, good call, Larry Ryan. So, Indian Creek had one blocked, and now Martin's Ferry has one failed, but they still lead 13-6. Look at it again. You'll see low snap that Murch couldn't handle.
Very important. Extra points, 1 point makes a heck of a difference now. This puts Indian Creek in a situation that, they can tie the ball game up with a touchdown and extra point.
And an 8 puts them ahead.
And if Ferry makes that kick, then they got to go for 2 to get the tie.
They seem so automatic in college and pro, but down here, they're sometimes an adventure.
Well, these are kids.
Here's the touchdown, Danny.
There's the touchdown, as I said. 78 comes over, and he kicks out, and Adams come up in 63 and just makes a heck of a block, and Danehart can walk. I could have scored on that one.
And look at Holmes, he's 63, the first one to congratulate him in the end zone because it was his block that sprung him. Good kick. Johnson back inside his 10.
He's got a seam.
Up the middle. Robert Christian breaks it open, and a touchdown saving tackle by Fleming.
Great play by Fleming because I thought the young man was going. It was there. You could see that. He ran the ball up. And once he fielded the ball, if we have a relook on this, he takes about 5 yards, and right now it's wide open. There it comes right there. And this is a great play by Fleming.
How about the speed of the Skins? Not named Cooper.
Well, Coop's back in the game now, so they must have rested him up and to see what he's going to do. They got to turn him loose here pretty soon.
And Keenan's still in at quarterback, not Pickford, number 7. It's Keenan, 12. He runs the option left, breaks one tackle of Holt, gets about 5 yards on the option, so Indian Creek. And like I told you from last week, Dan, it was Coop, and tonight, Coop got a break, and the Redskins scored while he was on the bench. Now he's back in there.
We might have a situation here where, it's not only successful, but it's giving Ferry more things to defend because, you know, when you play defense against the option, your defense is different than you are against anything else.
And Maisie telling him to turn it upfield. 2nd down and 4, Hickman in motion.
Here's the same play the Ferry scored on.
There's Cooper, and Coop, look how strong he is, carrying a 200-pounder in Brad Wink.
That was Indian Creek's version of the counter. The only difference was, if we get a relook on their replay on this, is they didn't bring both backside people. They bring the fullback, who they run a little short motion and laid him up through there.
First of all, great block by Craig Gorman, number 67. 6'2", 230-pound sophomore. Hickman up the middle, and Anderson first man there, 54.
Excellent hit.
Anderson had a good game when we were here against St. Clairsville.
I'll tell you, Joe Geary, number 62, the right tackle from Indian Creek is, I mean, he just bouncing people around here all night. He's the right tackle, and on that play, he'd put Ferry's defensive end.
And Keenan pitches back to Coop, who slips, and Jimmy Fleming is there penetrating the backfield to make the play. So Fleming, cheating up from the defensive secondary, makes a nice play.
Well, they catch him coming up in there. They might come down here and run a speed option and fake it and then drop back and throw one here.
Fleming is the safety, coming up number 10. Boy, and Danehart was there too. 23, the outside backer.
Outside backer played the quarterback. So Ferry must be rolling the corner up and playing the quarterback with the outside backer.
3rd down and 11.
Ferry's up in the 6 front. They're bringing him this time.
Here's a quick toss to Coop. Cuts it back. Breaks a block. And Cooper inside the 30. Boy, that almost got exciting.
Well, it's 4th down at about 4. I would assume now, once again, that this is 4-down territory.
And he wants to talk about it. I think Brian wants a timeout. Look how close this was to being a touchdown, Dan.
Yes, it was. He made a good cut right there. But once again,
Holt.
Brad Wink for Ferry was setting right there, and Cooper just made a heck of a move off of it.
So is Brian Mays and the Skins. Talk about a 4th and 4. We'll take a timeout. Martins Ferry leads 13-6 at Purple Rider Stadium. It's our WTRF High School Football Game of the Week. Our defense coming back on. They have their assignment, and so do the Skins. And they run the I formation look here. They spread them out. They fake to the fullback Hickman. Down the left side, a jump ball. Doherty fighting for position.
Caught the ball.
Makes a catch at the 5.
First down to 5, and I tell you, I'm not so sure it wasn't pass defense or a pass interference on that play.
On who?
On the Ferry boy over there, coming out of the game, number 13, John Yoder. But you know, he just wasn't tall enough to get there, and.
But the jump ball goes for a 1st down. And now it's Cooper time. Coop hit in the backfield.
I'll tell you, Ferry, they were all there that time. Holt and Redinger, and you know, they come under and they met him right at the line of scrimmage.
So Coop finding it pretty tough tonight. 2:29 to play in the half. It's 13-6, Martins Ferry. And Maisie calls the play on 2nd and goal from the 5. Doherty to the right side. He has the height advantage over Platt. We'll see if they throw another jump ball to the corner here. Hickman and Coop in the backfield. Holt showing blitz. Backs off. Coop up the middle. Hit by Holt, and down he goes.
I'll tell you.
Or rather, Randy Powers, 75.
Randy Powers come in and just put a good lick on him. The Ferry people thought they were going to throw the ball and put a defense in that handled the run. So, you know, we've got a third down. It's on the 3. It's a big play. I don't know. I think that maybe Indian Creek ought to, you know, try to hit the ball a little quicker. They're getting the ball deep, but by the time they get to the line of scrimmage, Ferry's come off of it.
Now the officials
Timeout.
come up and stop the play because Brian Mays wants another timeout. So here he comes onto the field with Doherty.
Minute and 26 to go in the quarter.
They may have had one too many men out there. So with a minute 26 to play, Indian Creek wants to make sure they have the right play call. They'll have 2 plays to score from the 3-yard line. And I don't know. It's a tough call for Brian Mays. You've got Coop, but you've also got Hickman who can pound it up in there. But if he doesn't get it, and you're kicking yourself saying, boy, I have Coop back here. And,
well, you know,
it's one of those catch-22s.
I think the problem right now is they're running a slow developing play coming up inside.
Almost like a play you'd run out here in midfield.
Right. You know, get in a split back, or if you're going to get in, give the ball to the fullback. You know, there's a lot of things that you can't do. Now, of course, once again, Coach Mays knows this team much better than I do. But you know, football's football, and you know, we can come off of it here now.
Here we go, 3rd and goal from the 3. It's the I set. There's Hickman in motion. Watch Cooper to run right behind it. Nope, they handed the Hickman, the fullback.
And I'm going to tell you something, Holt filled it up. Holt filled it up. He stepped right up in. They tried to run a little trap in there, and Holt just come in and filled it up. They're down on the 1, the half-yard line, whatever it is. And he's going for it. He's going to stick it in there, or he's going to get stopped. That's what he's figuring.
And Maisie just had his thumb down, so whatever play that is, we'll see here. Doherty to the top of the screen with Platt one-on-one. Got to go to Cooper, right? Eye in the backfield. Fumble the football. Keenan lost it. Martins Ferry got it at the 1. Wow, and Indian Creek can't believe it. Look at Mays. Brian Mays is doubled over. Martins Ferry staff loves it. Boy, did they dodge a bullet.
Well, I think what he tried to do, he tried to quick count him.
It looked like they were going Coop up the middle.
Well, it's hard to say. You know, they tried to go on a quick count, and either the center didn't get it up or the quarterback just didn't get it. You know, once again,
Keenan lost it. It was right there.
You know, it was there, and you know, I know how Coach Mays feels. That's a tough thing. Ferry's just going to try to get the ball, and they just blast the fullback up in there. Holt come up in and picked up 5-6 yards. Great effort by the offensive line, a great effort by the fullback coming up in there, Holt.
Well, what about the play? Boy, Brian Mays is kicking himself over there. He was doubled over after the play. Cannot believe they had a 1st and goal down there after the great pass to Doherty, caught it to 6 and couldn't stick it in. Credit the Martins Ferry defense.
Yeah, you know, Ferry played it tough in there, and we had discussed that prior to the game. These are 2 very physical football teams, and as a score could be tied up right now, you know, and you can't get much even than that. Uh-oh.
Here goes Danehart streaking outside. Still on his feet. Coop trying to wrestle the ball out of there. And that may have been the last play of the half.
Well,
1 second.
That was the same play that they scored on. That was the counter, you know, the tailback counter tray, whatever you want to call it. But they brought it in there. I don't know. Now, is Ferry going to take a shot at it? Or
why not run the same thing, huh?
Well, you know, it's 1 second to go. You know, we're going to throw it up and try to get one, or we're going to play it safe. Or
they've already hit a big one. And you think Coach Dave is in there now telling them right here in this huddle, Dan, that what do you guys want to do?
Well, I don't want to think he's doing that.
They already hit a quick one with Danehart from 68 yards on their opening possession.
You know, as I said, this could be an even football game right now. You know, I don't know. I don't know what Dave's going to do. Dave's pretty, at times, he's been a very conservative type coach, and other times he's, you know, depending upon his talent, he's laid it up there.
Yeah.
And, you know,
that's evident by some of the sweeps we've seen tonight. I haven't seen that out of a Martins Ferry team in a long while.
But, you know, you got a situation here now, you know, 1 second, you know, you take a shot at getting the breaking one out there, and particularly they're loosened up now. They're in 4 deep zone.
Yeah, and Platt's not in there either. So if you were thinking something razzle-dazzle, he's not in there.
Well,
Try Danehart. Here he comes.
You called it.
But he won't get out of the reach of another speedy Skins defender, Kyle Minifield. So that is the first half.
That was the same play, Mike, that they had scored a touchdown on and made the long run, only they came to the left side that time.
Look at it again. There's plenty of running room for Danehart, but look at the speed. Minifield got there, made the tackle, end of the first half. As Martins Ferry huddles near their sideline, they will depart, as are the Skins. Martins Ferry has the lead at halftime at homecoming. Coming up, the Martins Ferry homecoming queen for 2000 at Purple Rider Stadium is the WTRF High School Football Game of the Week. Martins Ferry 13, the Indian Creek Redskins 6. We'll be back. And the coach, Dan McGrew, as the Purple Riders have the halftime lead, 13-6, and they will kick off to start the third quarter here on homecoming night. As Mike Schaefer puts his foot to it, comes up, takes a big hop, and taken at the 12 by Robert Christian. He makes a spin, but can't get away from number 17, Corey Smith, the 5'7" junior.
Yeah, that's great speed. He came up in there pretty good. He fumbled, muffed the kick a little bit, picked it up. It looked like a knuckleball coming down there, but Ferry had it covered pretty well.
They did have the naming of the Martins Ferry homecoming queen, which we'll get to when we get a break in the action. But here come the Skins, and they still have Keenan at quarterback. Number 12, Keith Keenan. Talked to some of the scouts earlier, and they say he played in a blowout earlier in the year, but other than that, this is his first action. He fumbled a snap on the 1-yard line just before the half, so we see some inexperience as he pitches it back to Coop. And Cooper, with the help from the tackler Brad Wink, gets about 4 yards on first down. So Mike Pickford, the starting quarterback, not starting the second half here.
Well, it looks like that Coach Mays is committed to the option game.
And there's a good look at the homecoming queen, Angie Delbrug, the daughter of Scott and Lisa Delbrug, member of St. Mary's Catholic Church. She's involved in a youth group there. She's an officer of the Fellowship of Christian Students and Athletes and is a chaplain of the National Honor Society. Member of a lot of clubs, but congratulations to Angie Delbrug. And here's Coop up the middle, and Coop looks for running room. Started dancing instead of running forward. May have had the first down. Instead, he'll be short of the first down by a few yards.
Well, it looks like we got a little fisticuffs trying to start up there. Official stepped in and broke it up. You know, at this point in time, you sure don't want to get thrown out of a football game. There's a long time to play in this game yet.
And now you see the official getting him out of there.
I don't know. He might have just got him out to cool his head down. I didn't see a flag.
Yeah.
So
Good officiating by Kohler over there. And now the Skins on 3rd and 1. Give it to the Coop. And Coop has the first down. Head down. Runs into Danehart. Didn't get it by much, but he got it.
I'll tell you, as strong as Cooper is, I'm surprised that, you know, and he's got almost 1,200 yards coming into the day and tonight's game. And I just don't know why they're not giving the football. They just run isolation up in there. And, you know, Ferry's there, but he's still making 3 or 4 yards. But it looks like that, for whatever the reason is Coach Mays is committed himself, you know, to the option. I don't know. Maybe their quarterback got hurt. I don't know.
I'm looking for Pickford over there because we didn't hear anything at halftime, whether he's hurt or not. I don't think he is. He's standing in full uniform over there. I can see him now. That's Hickman sliding left to right. They run the option right. Keenan, and he's shoestring tackled by Holt after 5 yards.
Keenan looks like he's an awfully good athlete. You know, and you know, I don't know, he threw one pass, I know, for a touchdown. It wasn't the prettiest pass you've ever seen, but it got there for the touchdown. But you know, once again, I don't know what their thinking is.
It's working, that's for sure.
Well,
They're down a touchdown, but they could have easily tied it after a fumble on the goal line. Or gone ahead, maybe. Here's a quick toss to Coop. Running wide, but he is nearly stopped in the backfield. I was all ready to say he was dropped for a loss, and Coach Bruni is upset at the tackling.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great play by Redinger, number 66 for Ferry. He's limping a little bit right now, but he had great penetration. You know, that's a situation that Cooper's an excellent back, and you know, one guy just doesn't seem he's going to take him down. They got him doubled here, and he comes off of both of them.
And he was buried by J.R. Anderson at the end, 54.
Well, they had Render and Yoder both in on him for a loss, and he picks up some yards. You know, he's got third down and 5 right now.
That's Hickman in motion. Keenan turns and hands to Coop. Off of right tackle, Coop into the open field. Look out for the speed, but Yoder makes a touchdown-saving tackle.
Once again, that was their version of the counter, and he come back in there, and that's just great speed on Yoder and Fleming for Ferry. They ran him down. It was just a counter, and he come in there and he broke it loose.
Not many catch Coop from behind, although Yoder had a pretty good angle.
They had an angle on him, but you know, Ferry's got some speed. You know, I think they're one of the top sprint relay teams in the state of Ohio every year, and 2 or 3 of these Ferry defensive backs are on this relay team.
You're even up on your Martins Ferry track and field. I love it. Dan McGrew.
Well, I just read the papers. There it comes.
There's Hickman up the middle, but he is tackled by Holmes. Good thing Holmes was there, although he was on the ground. So it was a good block by the Indian Creek offensive player Joe Geary to get Holmes on the ground, but Holmes still had the presence of mind to make the tackle. Look, Dan.
Indian Creek come in and run a quick trap up inside, and it was there. Great play by Holmes. He came off of the block of number 62 Gary from Indian Creek, and really it was a touchdown-saving tackle. But I think, Mike, what's happened, I think Coach May's said, hey, let's go back here and play our football. And I think their football is lining up and just smashing it in there.
Coop. This time, down he goes. Randy Powers, the first man there, 75, but started right and then finished to the left, and that didn't fool Martins Ferry. Good pursuit.
You know, Ferry's awfully quick, and they pursue well. You know, I don't know. You know, these are all slow developing plays that Indian. It seems like when they hit it up in there, and you know, they're making yards. You know, that was a negative play, and Ferry's in pretty good shape now. They got 3rd down and 9, and of course they're down on the 17-yard line, so you know, have to go see what they're going to do here.
Good shot of big Randy Powers, the 235-pound defensive tackle. Here's Keenan on the quick hitter to Doherty, who catches the ball, takes a nice shot, and the play is blown dead. Short of the first
on
down.
the 10-yard line, they're down there. They got 4th down and 2. Threw the ball a little bit behind him, but Doherty come up and made a good catch. Ferry was right there. Both their defensive backs were there, and you know, it was a good throw, it was a good defensive play, and it was a great catch.
Again, working on Platt. And it's been a lot of Coop in this opening drive for Indian Creek. They're picking up where they left off when they fumbled on the goal line late in the second quarter. They're down in there, 4th and 1. Here's Coop, runs into the defender, and he fell forward.
I don't know, it's going to be awfully close.
It looks like from where he's lying, he got the first down. It'll take a good spot.
Dave Cornett came up in. I tell you what, Mike, I don't think he made it. From here, I don't think he made it.
And look at Dave, he's got the body language going. From that spot, it looks like he got it.
It's going to be awful close.
Boy, he ran right into Cornett.
Cornett was there, and you know, of course, Cornett's not as big.
Nope.
I told you, he didn't make it.
Wow.
That's a big play. Cornett made a heck of a play right there.
Well, how many times is Indian Creek going to get inside the red zone and come away with nothing? At least twice in the first half. And they turned it over on downs just outside the 20 in the first half as well. They have been penetrating, just cannot get into the end zone as Murch comes back out.
Well, once again, Mike, it's easy to second guess, and it's easy to think what you could do, should do. But it just seems like every time Indian Creek gets in a drive, there comes the counter again.
And it's
fumbled, and I don't know who's on it. There's a foul up there. I think Ferry got back on it.
And that was another misdirection play. Supposed to be handed off to Platt, Ty Platt. And I think Murch handed it to him on his hip. Martins Ferry got it again. Powers bailed him out. But if we can watch it again, it wasn't a very smooth exchange.
I think it was the same counter, and they run a little cross action, and I don't know whether the ball hit Holt on the hip, but I know he wasn't supposed to get it. It was supposed to be coming to Danehart, the tailback coming back in.
It was Platt.
Oh, is it Platt?
It was Platt, yeah. Now Platt is out, and they're backed up on their own three.
There's the same
That's
play
Danehart
again.
breaking out of there. And Keenan comes up to make a play from his free safety position.
That was the exact same play. That was a cross buck trap coming up in. And Ferry's having success trapping this team.
Here it is again.
That's the counter coming up through. And I'm going to tell you something. Ferry's tackles coming up through the line are doing an excellent job coming up, cleaning up. That time it was Randy Pyers and Holmes have also done it. So they've been very successful doing what they're trying to do on the counter.
And that's Platt in motion. Rolling to the right is Murch looking for Platt. Got him. Keenan is there. 17-yard line. It'll be short of the first down. Needed to make at least a 19.
Hey, come on. Run him out in the flat.
So fourth and about 1.
There's no doubt. I'm sure Ferry's going to kick the ball away.
And Indian Creek, barring another bomb punt, will get good field position, but they only have 1 touchdown.
Well, you know what they always say, Mike. You let people hang around long enough, you're going to be in trouble. And I'll tell you what, Indian Creek could be ahead of this game a couple touchdowns right now.
Easily. Now it'll take a good snap. Coming back to 22, Chris Meeker. And the Skins jumped. They fell for the old one. Brian Mays cannot believe it. The free first down for Martins Ferry. Larry Ryan with the preliminary signal. Offside defense. First down Ferry. Look at Brian Mays. He can't believe it out there on the 30-yard line.
That was a very important situation there. It was a good call at that time.
So Martins Ferry gets a first down thanks to an offside call. They run the quick hitter to Holt.
Run a little veer trap, and Holt, there was nothing there, and Holt still picked up about 3 or 4 yards. Holt's a very impressive kid. He just, he carries his lunch pail every day, and he comes to work. He's not spectacular, but he's an outstanding linebacker, and he runs awfully tough.
Got up with some grass in his face mask and fallen off of his shoulder pads.
He looks like a football player.
Good job that time by the Indian Creek interior not to get trapped. Ferry's doing a nice job, as Dan alluded to. Here's Holt again. Fumbled the football.
And it bounced
maybe
right
into the hands of the Indian Creek
no, it
defender.
bounced right back up into Holt's hands. Once again, they come in the offset eye, and they hit him on a little quick trap.
Wow, Indian Creek can't believe it.
I don't
Crowd
know.
on the other side is really letting them have it. Watch this bounce.
It bounced right back up. I thought Holt had it there.
I think Keenan had a good shot at it at first, then I think Holt ripped it away. They better watch over there. They've gotten some sideline warnings.
This is a fast-moving third quarter. There's only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third quarter, and it's been basically all Indian Creek.
Ferry's fumbled it twice, but has gotten it back twice. And here is Danehart being smashed
by Kahn,
in the middle
John
of
Kahn.
that Indian Creek D.
John Kahn come up and put a real lick on the Ferry back, and also Banfield.
Watch 61 Kahn, Dan.
Oh, I know. He come in clean, and He dropped the hips and he come up in a big play right there.
We haven't heard much from the Indian Creek crowd, but until that last near fumble recovery by the Skins.
That was a big play. Ferry was sitting there in a 4th and 1 situation. They're measuring it to see what happens. I don't know. I don't think he made it.
And Kuzakowski out there barking out the defensive signals. And he is as tough as they come, Coach Kuz, defensively. He fits right in with this Martins Ferry staff here. And
yeah.
it is short of the first down.
The last year I coached at Weir, Kuz was the head coach at Wintersville.
Yep. He's been around a while. He's coached a lot of defense. As you see Larry Ryan's preliminary signal of 4th down.
It's about 4th down and a foot. I'm sure Ferry's going to kick the ball away. I don't think that the trick will happen again, but
yeah,
you never know.
Well, about 15 yards ago, Ferry went on the long count, the oldest trick in the book, and it worked as Indian Creek jumped off sides. You'll get a pretty good idea if the Martins Ferry offensive line isn't down on a 3-point stance yet, and they're not, so they're going to jump down in a second. And there's a delay of game penalty pre-snap. Well, Larry Ryan getting his work out here this 3rd quarter. 2:22 to play. 13-6 Martins Ferry, and it's hard to believe. Keith Keenan hooked up with Ryan Doherty on a 24-yard touchdown in the 2nd quarter for the Skins, and that's the only time they've gotten into the end zone. They've been knocking on the door a number of times, at least 5 times if I can recall. So here they are punting again. Meeker on his own 14, high snap, gets it down, gets it out of there. Christian on his 37, this kick and fly, but Joey Danehart makes a great play.
Danehart has excellent speed. That was a foot race there, and Danehart saved a long run because I'll tell you what, the young fella, if he gets outside, he might go a long way, Christian.
Here it is again, Dan. Watch this. Oh, just got him by the shoestrings.
Well, he was the gunner. Danehart was the gunner going down. He's going right for the fielder, and he did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Joey Danehart, just a junior, 5'8", 165. Pretty good wheels. Keenan into the air. Elects not to go deep. Instead, his safety valve is Coop, a pretty good safety valve. He made a 1.5 feet out of what could have been a 5-yard loss. That was all Trevor Cooper.
I really can't figure out, Mike, what Indian Creek is trying to do. I mean, they're not. It doesn't look like they're trying to set anything up in particular. You know, they're just like we're going to pick a play here, pick a play there, and
Cooper in the eye, the fullback, Hickman.
Run that play.
Rather, that wasn't Hickman, the fullback. That was Aaron Bain, the fullback. They look so much alike except for just the number.
That's the second time they ran that play. It's a little quick trap back inside, and they've been successful at it. You know, that's what I'm saying. You know, they're just picking piece in here, and you know, quick hitting play I think may be there.
And we haven't seen Anthony Martin since he shined in that 2nd quarter, leading the Skins touchdown drive. The little guy, number 23, it's been Cooper. And look at Martins Ferry's defense. They have 9 guys in the box. Cooper.
He got the first.
Got the first. Adam Holt, or actually Danehart, came up and made the stop. But boy, if he gets through there, he is gone.
I'll tell you,
Martins Ferry was bringing 9.
There's 3 or 4 or 5 different times now. This much.
Look at the defense here, Dan. Look how
right,
many
they got them
purple
all
shirts.
up there. They're coming up there, and he's right here, and he come. Very good play by Danehart.
But it's 1st down and 10. Indian Creek on Ferry's 47-yard line.
Ferry's up in a 6-2 now.
Look at the defense. Daring Creek to throw, and they keep it on the ground. Coop nearly got out of there. while, but that would have been a spectacular run, but Jimmy Fleming held on for dear life. Number 10. Look at it again. Coach Bruni with a word for Johnny Timko. He thinks his man was clipped. Well, there's a timeout on the field. Martins Ferry coaches are not happy with Mr. Timko. That is the end of the third quarter of play here at Purple Rider Stadium. (13-6), Martins Ferry leads. We'll be back after this.
You have the talent and skills needed to succeed. At Belmont and Harrison Career Centers, we offer area high school students programs like these so they can get a jump on their future. Call Belmont and Harrison Career Centers today.
Standing at the crossroads, trying to read the signs. Tell me which way I should go to find the answer. And all the time I know, plant your love and let it grow.
Thanks to Easter Seal Services, my life continues to grow.
Let it grow.
Hiya, Fido, why the long face? This present will cheer you up. I know it's got you down. That contractor that was supposed to fix your roof goofed and left you holding the bucket. And that new car that won't go. When you told the car guy the problem, all he said was, I don't know. That got you feeling like an old hound dog. Well, open your present, Fido. Your dog days are over. Listen, it's the new Consumer Action Handbook, free from the government. With this puppy, you'll get repairs repaired, credit fraud fixed, telemarketers silenced, wrongs righted. Look, companies, government agencies, names, numbers. With this book, nobody will treat you like a dog. You at home, pick up the phone. Get your free Consumer Action Handbook. Call toll-free 1-888-8-PUEBLO or log on to www.pueblo.gsa.gov. It's a consumer's new best friend.
Every sunburn during childhood significantly increases your risk of skin cancer. Protect your children. Protect yourself.
As working Americans, we all hope to head home when our workday is over. Unfortunately for some, this is not the case. Hello, I'm David McAteer. In June, nearly a dozen miners died in workplace accidents. These tragedies touched many lives. If you work at one of the nearly 20,000 mines around the country, we want you always to be safe and healthy. Accidents frequently involve mobile equipment and machinery, so make sure brakes and lights are working. Thoroughly check your work area for hazards. Mine operators, make sure required protective equipment is readily available, and miners, make sure you use it. Is taking a shortcut worth risking your life? Sometimes we take for granted the products produced by miners, but we must never take for granted the miner. Work safely today and every day.
Liz was 4 when she learned how to wash herself, but some mornings she's so weak, her daughter Jenny has to do it for her. Liz has multiple sclerosis, an unpredictable neurological disease that strikes young adults, many with children. The National MS Society helps families learn to live with MS. They count on us. Can we count on you?
Fourth quarter at Purple Rider Stadium. The Skins have the football, and Keenan slips in the backfield on what looked like an option. He kept it and is lucky to get back to midfield. 3rd and long.
Yeah, they came to the option again. I mean, he's committed himself to the option, and fortunately for Ferry, they're handling very well.
Surprised we haven't seen Martin back, or you think we'll see him here in the fourth quarter?
I don't know. I'm really, he was really the player in the second quarter that turned it on for him, and I don't know what the situation is with the quarterback either.
Keenan still in there with Coop in motion. This time they run him to the near side, and Keenan is back, slips again, gets out of trouble, across the middle.
Interference.
And there's a flag on the play, intended for Doherty. Coach Bruni not happy.
That was a very good call, very good call. Went through the man instead of playing to the ball.
So Indian Creek gets a break. Not necessarily a break, but they finally have something go right for them.
Pick up a first.
There's Brian Mays. He's hanging in there with this offense because they move the ball a lot. Cooper has 90 yards rushing, or at least 88 yards. That's according to my main man, Hoot Gibson from the Times Leader. How many, Hoot? Yeah, so 16-yard penalty. And they hand it off to Cooper, who slips at first, but then is inside the 30. We've seen a lot of losing of the feet the last couple of plays. It's getting colder, and that's for sure. And
well, I think
the grass is getting a little bit slippery.
Right. That's it. I went out on the field before the game, and it's not muddy. It's but the dew's coming now, and once again, it's a slow developing play. I'd like to see him take the young man and just blast him up in there right now. Because he definitely
10 minutes to play.
He definitely is strong.
In the fourth quarter. 2nd down and 5. Option left. Pitch to Coop. Makes a cut. Gets close to the 25. It'll be 3rd down and a couple of yards, but it's been all Coop here in the second half for Indian Creek.
And it's basically been off of the option, and I don't know whether through scouting they had found that they're a better option team, or their Ferry is susceptible to the option. I don't know, but once again, Cooper's an excellent back. I mean, he's strong.
He's approaching his 100 yards. Maybe it's one of those things where he'll happen to break one eventually. Here he is, hitting the backfield.
He didn't make it.
Escaped the first tackle, did not get the first down. It'll be 4th and short.
They're going to go for it. They're on the 25-yard line. And
here they are again, Dan.
They've played once again.
Big play for Martins Ferry's defense.
You better get it in, Coach. You're going to get a delay.
Yeah, they do not need one here, and they're going to take an equipment timeout.
They got a break here, Ferry.
Watch for a long count from Indian Creek. 4th and about a yard. Cooper in the backfield, and they hand it to the Coop up the middle. First man hits him is Danehart, and he struggles to get to the first down. Did not get there. Jimmy Fleming cleaned it up, number 10, but Danehart was first on the scene. Did not get the first down. Martins Ferry holds yet again.
Once again, I'll tell you, you can't give these kids from Ferry, they're just outstanding. And those were 2 defensive backs that made that play that time.
Wow. Indian Creek cannot believe it, Dan. So here's Murch.
Run a little counter.
And that is Danehart running with the football. He's been the workhorse offensively and defensively
Yeah,
tonight.
I'm going to tell you something. They say Danehart's 175 pounds. I'll tell you what, he really got to be stuck together if he's that big. But I'll tell you one thing, he plays a lot bigger than that.
Yeah.
He's got
maybe
great,
with pads on.
Maybe, but he's got great quickness. He's got great speed, and I'll tell you what, he makes you rattle, and he puts some licks on people.
So there's 8 minutes to go in the game. The way Martin's Ferry's been going offensively, they can string some first downs together. They can shorten this game and get out of here with a homecoming victory over Indian Creek. Murch to the air. A little bit behind Platt, but he makes the catch. Kahn out there defensively. How about big number 61, Kahn, getting out there?
He's an inside backer, and that's what he's got. He's got the back out, but you're talking about Ferry stringing some things out. They don't really have to because Indian Creek self-destructs. I mean, they'll get the ball and they'll keep it for 6 or 7 minutes or whatever it might be, and then come up with nothing. Come down. How many times have they come down 4th and 1 and not made it?
There's the big swarm on Ty Platt. And now the split backs behind Murch. Gonna set up a little shovel pass. Read nicely by Hickman and Doherty. Or rather not Doherty, 8, that is 36. Anthony Gump.
Well, I'll tell you what, they guessed right. If we get the rerun, they ran a stunt and they stunted right into it. Here they come right there. They slanted down in and brought the outside backer.
Gambos, 52, he ran right into him. And now it's 4th and long. That was a quick 3 and out by Martin's Ferry. So much for stringing some first downs together. Under 7 to play though in the game. And Meeker in punt formation. High snap goes up to get it.
That's 3 in a row, and unfortunately for Indian Creek, the punter's getting up and getting it. But one of these times, that starts to scare you a little bit if you're Dave Bruni.
Yeah, and since the receivers did not catch the ball, they lost at least 15 yards on the roll. But nonetheless, Indian Creek has their shot with all 6:40 to play in the game.
Well, I'll tell you what, Coach Mays is still staying with Keenan, and he's talking to him over there. And, the little back's in now.
Martin, my man, number 23, Anthony Martin. And where's Coop? Is Coop out for a break? Coop is out.
Coop is out, but if you're running the option, I must think that Martin is the quicker of the two, and there it is.
Go. Keenan keeps a football, and Martin was looking for it.
If he would have pitched late, he might have still been going.
Yeah. Although there was a nice defensive play by number 10, Jimmy Fleming, the 5'9" senior who had the wrap around Keenan, so he couldn't pitch it. Watch it again, Danny. Here it comes.
Excellent.
A little half Nelson
a
inside there.
It wasn't a hold. They didn't call anything, so it wasn't a hold. But I'm sure when Coach Bruni sees this tomorrow, these tapes, or tonight, whenever they look at it, he's going to wonder what these officials were looking at on that call in particular. There comes the option again.
And Martin cannot get away from Danehart and Fleming.
I'm going to tell you something. Those two young gentlemen right there,
wow.
Yeah, they're just awfully good football players.
And Dan, it's the defensive backfield making the plays in the offensive backfield.
Well,
you would think that's a setup to hit him with a long one later, because these are the free safeties and corners making plays.
Well, not really. Danehart's an outside linebacker.
Right.
And that's he's got a corner outside. I mean,
I'm talking Fleming has been up in the backfield.
But Fleming, he's just reading it, and he's filling it from the inside, and that's what you have to do. 3rd
and 11. That is Martin in motion into trips. Rolling that way is Keenan. Steps up in the pocket, delivers it across the middle. It's off Doherty's pads and falls incomplete. Could have been picked off.
It could have been caught, too. He put it right there, and Doherty just don't miss too many, but he did miss that one.
Wow, and credit Keenan with the ball that he put there. Look at this.
Right, he put it right there.
Oh.
That ball should have been caught.
Holt has the football there, but his hand distracted Doherty. He had his right hand up in the pattern, and Doherty just sort of threw his right hand up to at least get one on it. I don't think he thought it was going to get that far. So in punt formation are the Skins. Good snap.
You realize That's the
Good punt.
Very good punt.
I think it's the first punt by Indian
It
Creek.
is.
Here's
And
Ty
he's-
Platt.
He got a seam.
Oh, nearly lost a football, and the mini field is still digging at it.
I thought there was something there, and the one Minifield come down, and he was the only guy there. And Ferry had a lot of guys there, just didn't block him.
That's the first punt we've seen from Indian Creek. What's that tell you about their field position?
Well, I'll tell you, you watch this, and I thought this kid right here, everybody's there, and they don't block this young man. That was Danehart out there.
Yep.
And, he needed a blow. You know, the kids played awfully well today.
And that's Platt coming to the near side. Murch with the tight end to the right. This is Danehart. Danehart gets through the line, but is stopped by one of the linebackers. That is Kahn, number 61.
I'll tell you something, Danehart's an awfully good football player. He's a very good high school football player. He
And
reminds me of a kid I coached many years ago by the name of Monty Summers. But I'll tell you something. The kid we haven't called is, oh, he's there. He's there. He's there.
Ty
Oh, just barely over. Same play they threw before.
Murch looking for Platt on the near side, covered by Coop. No, it's not Cooper.
Covered by Terry.
Yeah, Rashad Terry. Here it is again.
He had him. He just overthrew him a little bit. But you know, the kid that plays every play, offensively and defensively for Ferry, and does an excellent job, and you don't get a lot of calls on him, is Wink, Brad Wink, number 80. He plays both ways, and he plays very, very well.
Here's Murch handing off to Danehart. The little guy shifting his way up in there and gets it into Indian Creek territory. And now the clock becoming a factor. 4:14 and ticking away on Indian Creek. Boy, they suffered their first loss of the season last week against John Marshall. They fell from 3rd to 9th in the standings in Ohio. And this loss would really, if they were to lose tonight, drop them even further. But for Martins Ferry, it would be a huge win point-wise.
You know, the thing that's about tonight's ball game, Mike, I don't know. Danehart has played almost the whole way. What's the other back's name? Dave Cornett has been basically non-existent in the offense tonight. Field the ball. Oh, boy.
And Meeker kicks it inside the 10.
And believe me, Coach Mays is not very, very happy at this point in time.
And that was the quarterback, Keenan, back there, number 12,
right,
to receive the kick, not some of the speed guys. No Martin, no Christian, or Coop. Now, did we see Coop back in there this time after a blow or not?
Yeah, he's back in there, but Keenan's staying in there. I just out of curiosity, I don't know what, maybe the starting quarterback did something he wasn't supposed to. Maybe he was injured. I don't know.
He's standing over there right behind Brian.
He's over there, but he may be injured. I don't know that.
Yep. And Coop is tailback position. Oh, well, some mix-up, and the fullback has it.
That was that little quick trap up inside. 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go. You know, they don't have a lot of time. They've got plenty of time to drive the field, but, you know, you're not going to do it making 3 or 4 yards of play.
Here's Brian Mays calling the play in, and Gump comes out, number 36. Doherty comes to the near side with Christian. Pretty good reception guy and a pretty good speed guy to the near side. Tight end to the top of the screen.
Motion into trips.
With the Coop. Back to throw is Keenan. Keenan looking to the right side.
Face mask.
And down goes the quarterback at the 1, and a flag
face mask
comes in late. It was a face mask on Wink, but
it was inadvertent. He just reached up and you know, under pressure, and you know, those things happen at times.
And no one saw it until Johnny Timko said, "I better call this," because he had the best view looking right into it. So, in trouble is Keenan, and he's down at the 1 yard line. That's probably going to be the 5 yard variety. Martins Ferry staff clapping, so that's what it'll be.
Offsetting penalties.
Wow.
I'm sure the people over on the Indian Creek side are saying that was a get even call, but I tell you what, I know the face mask was there, and you know, there's been a couple times in this game where I thought. And,
what was the Indian Creek penalty?
Holding, offensive holding.
I missed it. I was looking at my notes, but nonetheless, it's 2nd down and 7, and this is a big play for Indian Creek. They're all big now. 2:30 to play.
2nd down 6 on a 14.
Here is Keenan, the draw to Coop, and Coop has the first down. Huge run by Trevor Cooper, who goes over 100 yards again out to the 25-yard line. So 7th straight week, the Coop goes over 100 yards, give him nearly 1,300 for the season. 108 in tonight's game. There's Coach Dave. He's sweating a little bit, Danny.
Yeah, well, you know, it's 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go, and 2 clock running. Plenty enough time because Indian Creek got enough speed. They got a couple kids there could break it all the way.
They need one play. Here's Keenan, back to throw. Keenan rushed out of there. Can Wink make the sack? No. But here comes a big play by Redinger. Redinger come up and make the play and pushed him out of bounds. I thought Wink was going to make a big play.
But once again, Wink did make a big play. Forced him out of the pocket.
Yeah.
Redinger come off. And that was just an excellent defensive rush.
This goes to show you sometimes when you don't make a big play, you do make a big play.
Absolutely. He forced him out of the pocket. He got, and Redinger come over clean, and that was a big play. 154, 2nd down and 13.
Adam Holmes digging in now in the rest of the Martins Ferry defense. 2nd down and 12. Fake to Coop. Here he comes out on the screen. Nowhere to go. Being pursued is Keenan. He runs it up the field. Gets a block. Possible clip. It is. Flag down. And he gets back to the 25. Pretty easy call as Danehart was laid out from behind.
I'm going to tell you what. I don't know whether it was an easy call. It was called easily, but I tell you, that was awful close. That was awful close.
Indian Creek just can't hit the big play. And Brian Mays told me before the game they didn't hit any big plays against John Marshall. Haven't hit one yet tonight either. I mean, the past touchdown was fairly big play, but they haven't hit the big Coop 70-yard run they're used to getting every week.
Well, I don't think they're running the offense, at least tonight, that you're going to do that with. You know, I just look at it, you know, half the time Cooper's been running motion. You know, if he's running in motion, I think if statistics prove out, you know, he's a running back. He's not a receiver. Now watch this. This is awful close. Well, his head's behind, but it was still pretty close. I guess it wasn't as close as I thought it was. but like I said, you know, Cooper is a running back, and you know, and I would assume that the other kid, the quarterback, Pickford is their thrower, and Keenan is their running the option type quarterback.
Although Keenan's made some nice throws.
Yes, he has. But would you rather want to defend Cooper as a receiver or as a running back? You know, that's the thing. There they come with the draw.
Here's Coop staying on his feet, spinning. Oh, boy, that was nearly close to being big. Gets it across the 20, and Indian Creek calls timeout. $1:18 left to play. And we'll take a break with the score. Martins Ferry 13, Indian Creek 6. It'll be 3rd and long when we come back to Purple Rider Stadium. Don't go away on WTRF 7 Sports.
Are you tired of paying for a house that will never be yours? Well, now there's an alternative. Land contracts with Valput Properties. Valput Properties can put you into your own home easily. Think about it. A low down payment, easy credit terms, low closing costs, approval usually within 24 hours. So why rent when you can own your own home for the same monthly payments? Land contracts with Valput Properties. giving you an affordable alternative for home ownership.
Good morning, I'm Michelle Kettler in the 7 News Weather Center. It will be cloudy and chilly overnight as overnight lows fall to around 40. Now during the day Saturday, we're still going to see those northwesterly winds bringing in some much colder air. We will see a few scattered rain showers in the afternoon and then rain mixing with some wet snow overnight Saturday. Saturday's highs will only be in the mid-40s. Cloudy and chilly to begin your day, the temperature around 40. Have a good weekend.
Ronnie is my dog guide. He comes from the Seeing Eye Incorporated in Morristown, New Jersey. The dog allowed me to become more independent. I teach social studies, U.S. history. It's a working relationship where I give him commands, he responds, we work together, and we're there for one another. I've had nothing but success with Seeing Eye dogs.
For more information, call the Seeing Eye at 973-539-4425.
An unfortunate thing done in a shabby manner. Even colleagues in the restaurant business are saying this about the closing of the big boy restaurants.
I'm very upset that it's closed because I hate to see businesses go down in this valley. But I'm also more upset that they didn't give any kind of employees any kind of warning, any kind of notice. You know, you have a family support, payments to make, you know, and it's a shame that they didn't give the employees more notice at all.
I think it's a shame that they closed down without giving any kind of warning. And it's just a good thing that we have Hardee's now here that we can go to.
And that's been the reaction of many. Hardee's in the Etnaville section of Bridgeport is suddenly deluged with displaced big boy patrons, especially early in the morning for breakfast. Manager Larry Cross has scheduled extra employees to handle the morning rush. And it shows an interesting trend. It shows that of all 3 meals of the day, Ohio-Dallians are particularly serious about breakfast. They want it, and they want it on the go. You know,
you're a 2-car family. You have kids that get off to school. You have, you know, you got to get to work, and you don't have that time to get ready in the morning. So you just grab something fast food through the window inside, and it makes it a lot easier.
For 7 News, I'm DK Wright.
There is a better way to have fun with history.
Come on, Louie. Focus, man.
Visit americaslibrary.gov. Log on, play around, learn something.
Frank never knows when he'll wake up to find his arms are too weak to do anything, even shave himself. Frank has multiple sclerosis, an unpredictable neurological disease that strikes young adults, many with children. The National MS Society helps families learn to live with MS. They count on us. Can we count on you?
We've got a pretty good game going right here at Purple Rider Stadium. 3rd down and long. Call it 15 for the Skins. Need to get something big here. Maybe not all of it back at once. Keenan deep down the middle. Looking for his man. It's tipped and picked. Ty Platt at the 49. Now it's a convoy. Ty Platt inside the 20 and a flag from well behind a play. I think somebody got clipped and Coach Dave is very upset. There's a clip from well behind the play, and I think he's upset at his player more than he's upset at the officials.
I think Jerry got clipped by number 10.
Oh, yeah. Do you think? Jimmy Fleming. And that was at least 15 yards behind the play. Coach Dave was just pointing to his point on the field. What are you doing clipping from behind the play? Well, Indian Creek forced to throw the football. He wanted Christian down the middle of the field going for the big one. It was tipped and picked by Tyrone Platt, the sophomore. In just his 2nd game as a Purple Rider, coming here from Wheeling Park. and Platt bringing some speed to the offense and to the defensive secondary where they needed it the most. Danehart, we failed to mention tonight, Dan, about the defense of Martins Ferry and the secondary. They lost their best player, Nate Alexander, who was the starting quarterback, and their best defensive back in game 1. So they've been depleted there, and Platt just gives them that much more speed in the secondary.
Well,
they've also lost Mike Mamone, a sophomore, good-looking sophomore. So he's out for the year. 2 guys out for the year, and when you lose 2 starters in high school football for the season, it's hard to replace.
If you talk to people in Martins Ferry, all my friends are over here. They all say the same thing, that this is an awfully young football team, all the way around. So Dave's got them playing well. They come out of here tonight 5-2. I would imagine at the beginning of the year with his schedule, he'd be happy being 5-2.
Yeah, 13-6, Martins Ferry, 55 seconds to play. This just the start of a big weekend here on WTRF. We'll set the programming schedule for you as a reminder here in just a second. 2nd down and 9 for Lance Murch. He hands it off. That's Cornett giving Danehart a blow, and is it fumbled?
The ball came loose. I don't know who got it, but
boy, Indian Creek thinks they have. No preliminary signal yet. Yes, there is. Indian Creek has it at the 45. Wow, Cornett coughs it up, and Indian Creek gets new life. 44 seconds.
44 seconds,
And let's see who comes back in at quarterback. It'll be Keenan. Don't forget, we have Idaho at West Virginia. It's on a tape delay basis tomorrow night, 11:30, right here on WTRF. And then on Sunday, it's the big doubleheader in the NFL. Steelers at 1, and then the Browns at Arizona at 4.
Yeah,
this is coming to the wire, Danny.
Yeah, yes, it is. And I don't think that.
And Coach Dave knows we've stayed away from their big play all night. Please not now, he's saying. 44 seconds to go.
And Indian Creek has 1 timeout left. Ferry has 3.
And Coop is back there. So the guy who can take it to the house at any second is in the backfield. So as long as there's still time on the clock, this game is not over. And remember, it's only a 7-point game. It'll be interesting to see what Indian Creek does if they should score with 44 seconds. That's Hickman in motion. Quick toss. They're going to run in reverse. Doherty with the football. He is swarmed under. He lost it. Adam Holmes picks it up. And look at Holmesy from the 23. Touchdown, Martins Ferry. Unbelievable. Adam Holmes, his first career touchdown.
That was a big play. They went for the gamble, and Ferry brought the outside linebacker, and forced him deep, and they made the hit. You watch this. Here he comes around. Ferry's bringing him off the corner. Once again, the play was made by Redinger. Redinger made the play, fumbled, and his tackle mate picked it up and run it in. Holmes.
Wow. Coach Dave pumped. So is the rest of the homecoming crowd here at Purple Rider Stadium, which is thinning out now because the fat lady is warming up. Yeah. Martins Ferry going to get out of here with a homecoming victory. And Indian Creek never hit their big play tonight.
Well, I
only punted the football once.
One time.
And have 1 touchdown. Hard to imagine.
I think that this is a tribute to a great, and I say in the thing of greatness, I'm not talking about the greatest football team, but I think it's a great effort by these kids. And I think this coaching staff at Ferry's done an excellent job, and they've got these kids believing they can win, and they are winning. They play hard.
Speaking of coaches, you saw a shot there of Brian Mays, the lonely coach at the end of the bench, away from the kids, just contemplating. Unbelievable.
Well,
what could have been.
That's a tough situation. We've all been there sometime if you've been in this business long.
Going for 2. Murch lobs it towards the corner. Nice play by the defensive back. Rashad Terry makes a nice play on the attempted pass to Wink. So the 2-point conversion fails. 19-6. Martins Ferry. Wow. What else can you say about Martins Ferry? They just get it done. Not a flashy offense, but their defense has set them up tonight. Look at the Martins Ferry huddle now. So they'll kick off with 32 seconds. Remaining for the purple, they have to play Weir, Wellsville, and Bel Air, but not necessarily in that order. I think Wellsville's next week. They go to Wellsville and to Jimmy Carey, and then host that team from a little bit south of here in 3 weeks. What's their name, Dan? You don't know that name, do you?
Well, they know who it is, and I'm sure that every day of the year they spend a little bit of time on that team down there.
If you don't know what we're talking about, it's Bel Air. And here is Coop getting some nice blocks. Look out for Coop. Stiff arm across the 30. Got us 100 yards for the second straight week in a loss. 118 for Coop, 25 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure he would give up about 118 for 18 if they come out of here with a win, but doesn't look too good right now for the Indian Creek Club, and it looks awfully good for Ferry and its homecoming, and all the old grads are happy and all the new grads are happy. And
they're pumped down at Histories tonight.
Oh, I'm sure they are. I imagine after a while I'll stop uptown someplace and have a bite, and it's a big night. It's a big night anytime on Friday night when Ferry's playing football, and it's homecoming, and it's just an excellent job by the staff. Once again, I can't slight Coach Mays. He's done a good job with his team. Ferry's in a prevent.
Yeah, that's the deepest prevent I've ever seen.
Well,
Martins Ferry has 4 players 50 yards off the ball.
Ferry's in a 3-4-4, and they got 25-yard intervals.
But give some credit to Dave Bruni and his staff. They went on the road and beat a pretty good River team last week, pretty soundly. And then they come here and beat a school bigger than them. They're going to get all kind of points for this.
Yeah, this is a very big game for Ferry. They're a 3 level and Ferry's a 4 level.
And here's Coop with a lot of running room. Gets out of bounds with 11 seconds to play. But Cornett runs him out along with Anderson.
Next to that team you're talking about, Bel Air down the river. That's going to be a big game. But if Ferry don't come out of here with the win tonight, they're not going to do as good a job as they can point-wise.
Well, 5 seconds and 4, and now there'll be one more play. But Indian Creek. And I'll go back to the goal line stand by Martins Ferry. It was first down and goal, I want to say at the 6 or 7 after a pass play. And then it looked like Creek would just take it in from there. 4 plays, did not get in, fumbled on the 1 on 4th down, and Martins Ferry recovered. Could have easily been tied at halftime. Instead, they get nothing out of it, and this will indeed be the last play of the game. Coop run down from behind. Redinger got there, and with 1 second to go, nope, will not be the last play of the game. Hard to believe at Martins Ferry. And he's looking up. And Dave's yelling, why would you leave 1 second on the clock? Well, and you may have heard Dave say, we're home. And that is it. After all that, 19-6, Martins Ferry improves to 5-2. They will take their act to Wellsville next week as the two coaches meet at midfield to congratulate one another. And Brian